Today we're talking about how to apply for your US passport for the very first time, and later in the video we're going to discuss how to renew your passport if you already have one. Hi, I'm Kristen. I'm a travel agent and I have some great tips to share with you today. So if you're applying for your US passport for the very first time, there's a few steps that you have to take. Now today we're talking about the US passport book, which is this right here. The US passport book is the only passport that allows you to travel by air. The passport card and other options will allow you to travel by sea or land. So if you do a lot of air travel, definitely apply for this one. You can also apply for a long book or a large passport book, which is a couple more extra pages so you don't go through the whole passport before the expiration date. Step 1. Download the form DS11. You can go to the website ppform.state.gov. They have an option that you can type in all your information and print it, or you can download the form and handwrite it in. If you use the option to where you type it in online, remember, do not write on the form or sign it after you print it. Your signature must be witnessed by a US passport agent at the time of your appointment. Same for the written form, do not sign it ahead of time. Step 2, have your photo taken. There's a lot of requirements that you must follow, so listen up carefully. You can take this at home, but you must follow the guidelines of 2 inches by 2 inches. You must be in front of a white background, no glasses, no hats, no hoodies, no camouflage, and you must have a natural expression on your face. I highly recommend that you do get this done professionally. You can get your photo taken at places like Walgreens, CVS. Some passport offices like US post offices that accept your application will take your photo for you. Definitely look this up ahead of time so you don't go unprepared. Step 3, locate your required documents. The documents required are as follows. You must be a U.S. citizen, so you must show proof of your U.S. birth certificate or your U.S. citizenship certificate. You also must have a front and back photocopy of this certificate. You must also show a form of a photo ID and also have a photocopy of the front and back of that. There's a whole list of photo IDs that they accept. You can find this out on the travel.state.gov website. Step 4. Applying for your passport does cost a lot of money, so let's get into that. There are 2 fees that you must pay in order for your first application to go through. You must pay the application fee, which is $130 per person for adults. You also must pay the acceptance fee, which is $35 per adult. The application fee must be in a check or money order made out to the U.S. Department of State. The acceptance fee can be paid to the facility like your post office or wherever your application appointment is, and that can be done by debit or credit card most of the time. If you attend a government passport agency, which there's about 27 all across the country, mostly in large cities, they do accept a debit or credit card for your application fee. So just to recap, the application fee is $130 by check or money order, and the acceptance fee is $35. If you want to pay for an expedited service for your passport, which would come in 2 to 3 weeks, you must pay an additional $60 fee. You can add this on to your passport application fee. The average time that your passport will be ready is 6 to 8 weeks if you don't pay for the expedited service. Step 5. Now that you have all of this with you, you must attend a U.S. passport acceptance facility. This can be places such as post offices, libraries, U.S. government agencies. A lot of places do require you to make an appointment, but some, such as post offices or libraries, will allow you to walk in. Look this up ahead of time. Just do a little Google search, passport agencies in my area, and it'll come up with a couple. At the time of your appointment, they will accept all of these documents. They will mail them off, as well as your birth certificate or a citizenship certificate. Keep in mind that you will be without this certificate for several weeks. Then they will mail your passport as well as your birth certificate back to you. A lot of times the birth certificate is mailed separate from your passport, so if you receive one before the other, keep in mind it will probably be in 2 separate mailings. For children, the application process is a little bit more difficult, so let me know in the comments below if you want me to do a video about children's passports. I will be happy to do that. Now, here's some great tips if you need your passport within 2 weeks. If you need your passport within 2 weeks, you need to schedule an appointment with one of the U.S. passport agencies. That's the government agencies I mentioned earlier. You must schedule an appointment with them and attend. Most of the time, you'll get your passport within the same day. You must have all of the documents that I mentioned earlier to bring to your appointment. If you are not able to find an appointment or you need your passport within 6 days, contact your U.S. state government congressman. Most of the times they can get you an appointment and give you your passport the same day. Just to recap, this appointment with your congressman must be if you need your passport within 6 days. Now let's move on to if you need to renew your passport if you already have one. Renewing your passport is a lot easier, but there are a few different steps that you can take. This should only be done for people over the age of 16. Children will have to go through the whole process earlier that I mentioned, plus a little bit more steps. So let's get into it. To renew your passport, you can do this by mail, but the form is different. You must fill out the form DS-82. Print the form, sign it. You must also send your application fee of $130 via check or money order. You do not have to pay the facility acceptance fee of $35 that you had to do earlier. You must also mail in a new photo taken within the past 6 months and your expired passport. The processing time will take the same amount of time, 6 to 8 weeks, or you can pay for the expedited service as well. Then they will mail back your expired passport as well as your new passport. The expired passport will have holes punched on the side, like right here. That's just to let other people know that it is not a valid passport any longer. Now let's talk about if you have special circumstances and you need to change your passport for certain reasons. If you received your passport and some information is incorrect, you must fill out the form DS-5504. You do not have to pay an extra fee for this. If you need a name change, there are certain forms you have to fill out as well as show proof of your name change, such as a marriage certificate or other documents stating that you did change your name. Fun fact, if you applied for your passport before you got married, for instance, you received your passport with your maiden name, you traveled, and you change your name after your honeymoon or travel, you can renew your passport up to 1 year for free. I had to do this myself and it was such an easy process, so keep that in mind if you're getting married soon. For adults, passports are valid for 10 years. For children under 16, it's 5 years. The last thing I want to mention is always look at the country that you're traveling to and look at the passport requirements, because some countries have a requirement that your passport must be valid for 6 months after your travel dates. Some countries it's 3 months and some countries it's none at all. So for example, if you're traveling in July, and you're going to Italy, that's one of the countries that require you to have your passport valid for 6 months. When you travel, your passport must be valid until January. So you can find all of this information on the travel.state.gov website, look up the country you're traveling to, and see the passport requirements there. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one.